Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, throw open your windows and call out to your neighbors. It's time for a very special John Perrotta's Comedy Factory Zoomalooza as we make history with this episode. Sponsored in part by A Million Little Things by Karin. Why? Because she's guest starring on the show, and we're going to show her some love. And now, your host, boys and girls, John Perrotta.
Mike, I'm excited about this show because we're doing something totally different. We usually have comics on, we've had other people on, but tonight we have someone that's been coming to see comedy shows that you were in, that I was in, since Periwinkles in the early 90s. So that's phenomenal. Take it away, Mike, because you know, Karin, explain the story to the viewing audience.
To the viewing audience. Well, Karin,
yes,
who I call Karina, and the reason why I call her Karina is she spells her name Karin. Now, Karina and I have been friends for 32 years. I met this little fireball when she was 17 years old. She came bopping into Bally Total Fitness one day in Johnston. She had long... It was
in North Providence, not Johnston.
Yeah, North Providence, rather. She had long, flowing, big hair. She had the headband that goes up over here and down behind the ears. She had these big, fashionable glasses on. She had more energy than 10 NFL football teams. And she had a personality the size of Texas. And I was instantly just taken to her whole personality. She's 17, but yet she held herself in such a mature way, so quick on her feet, so quick-witted. I can remember I'd be sitting in my office, and she would come up to my office and say, "What are you doing, kid? What are you doing? What are you doing, kid?" And to this day, she still says that. And the other thing that she used to say back then, and she still does it, when you talk to her, if you're talking to Karina on the phone, on a Zoom, in person, whatever, if you pause and stop what you're talking about, here's what she says. What else? What else, kid? What else? You can't stop talking to her. You've got to have content flowing at all times, or she's going to remind you that we've stopped talking.
Are you a full-blooded Italian girl, Karin?
No.
Full-blooded? No?
No, Portuguese, too.
You're Portuguese and Italian?
My mom's Portuguese, yep.
Wow. Wow, that's a combo. My mom was Irish and Polish. My father was Italian, but
Wow.
Portuguese and Italian, that's a good mix. It's a good mix. I'm calling her Karin, and you could call her whatever you want, Mike, because I can't keep up with the names you come up with for people. I can't keep up.
I always call her Karina. Like if her mom, if Alice tunes in, hi Alice. If Alice tunes in, she'll say,
Alice.
Yeah, he's always called my daughter Karina. I don't know why, but he always has.
All right. So now you're at Bally's in North Providence. She's 17. Was Mike appropriate back then? I want to make sure that
Yes, he was.
it's very appropriate.
Yep.
That's good. I know I've known Mike to be an upstanding guy. I just want to check, you know.
Of course, I lied when I was 18, just so I could work out. Right?
So you
Right.
faked that you were 18 so you could work out. And you faked that you were 18 so you could get into Periwinkles, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Let's tell the story.
Yeah, I used to back then. That was the height of the bad boy of comedy days.
Yep.
I used to get her into my shows at Julio's, shows that we did together, John, at Julio's. She went to when I got my big break by Charlie Hall, and he let me open up for Frank Santos at Periwinkles. I had one of the best sets of my career. Karina was there. She's gone to shows all throughout her life. Her and her husband just love live comedy, love support. They get out there. And the thing, once you get to know Karina, she's a fun person. She's got a big heart, fun person, always funny, always lively, very quick on her feet. Very, very quick on her feet.
Did you ever think of doing comedy?
No.
Why not?
I'll break out. I'm gonna break out in a rash just doing this. Do you want me to go on stage? Never.
Nah.
So during our pre-show talk, I'm gonna tell. Can I tell him what you told me? Can I tell the viewers at home?
I guess I don't even know what I said.
Karina says to me, she goes, "I'm so nervous, I'm gonna pee."
And I'm 62, almost 63. I just did pee. That's a whole nother story. It's almost time for Depends for me, Karen. It's almost time for Depends.
Man, oh man alive. That is good
You think
stuff.
I'm kidding? My urologist called me twice today. I got issues.
What I enjoy about this, John, is you and I have been best of friends for 30 years, doing comedy way back. And now we've got a good friend of mine who has supported live comedy on the show. You know, we're not kids anymore. Karen's married, got 2 beautiful children, a beautiful husband. She comes from a great family. I met both her mom and her dad. Her dad went home to Jesus a little over a year ago. Her dad was a legend here in North Providence. He was known as the Tile Man. Just a great guy, very friendly. Karina comes from what you would say good stock, really good stock. I've met her brother Steven, her brother Tommy. I never met her sister. I don't know why. She probably knew enough to leave the house when I came over. But I've met her whole family. They're just,
Did you ever meet Kenny?
I never met Kenny. I met Tommy. I met Steven. I never met Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that? Your other brother?
Yeah, 3 brothers and a sister.
3 brothers and a sister.
Yeah.
That must have been tough for your husband when he started dating you, dealing with 3 brothers. So I used to find girls that had no brothers, maybe a sister. I didn't want to deal with 3 brothers when I got drunk and I got into some kind of trouble. The last thing I need is 3 brothers driving around looking for me.
Right.
Nope. I dated all girls with no brothers.
That was smart.
That's
That
smart.
was good thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Karina's family home, where she grew up, it's like a compound. Thing is gigantic. It's huge.
Where was that? North Providence?
Yep. Right across from Okies, I grew up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep. So
Wow.
my father used to build a new room. Every time someone grew up, they'd get a new room.
Wow.
Yeah.
Angelo.
And Sonny Boy, you need a closet? He'll build you a walk-in closet. No minute you come home from school, there's a new closet.
Gee, that's nice.
Yeah, it was great.
I can't build a shoebox.
Yeah, me either. I'm not.
I flunked woodworking, Mike. I would tell you, I flunked. I was in Bain Junior High, and I took woodworking, and I flunked it. I took too much wood off what I was doing. My project was a disaster. I was not. Your father would have never been able to use me to help him. It would have never worked out, Mike.
I was the same way. My dad used to always, whenever that came up. Let me turn my phone off here. I apologize, boys and girls at home. When anything came up about manual labor, my dad, if there was a group around, he'd say, "Feel Michael's hands. Michael, let him feel your hands." So I'd open up my hands. He goes, "Feel that. Smooth as silk. You want to feel my daughter Kathy's hands. They're like a catcher's mitt, all callous because she's not afraid to get out there and work." And it's true. It's true. My sister's hands are rough. They're callous. She's not afraid to work. Me, that's just not me. That's not who I am.
That's all right.
Me neither.
Nothing wrong with that.
Me neither. This summer, I had a guy do my fence, friend do my deck. My other friend painted my cellar. I bought them iced coffees. I don't do anything.
That's a big deal.
I'm really good at
I would have done it for a nice coffee.
Yeah, the guy comes and does the snow. I wave out the window. I got a guy that cuts the grass. I got a team of people at my compound there, Mike, in Cranston. Team of people, Karen. I don't. I supervise. I'm a good supervisor.
That's good.
Yeah, they pull up. I tell them what to do. I go back in the house and sit in the couch and look out the window.
You know, Karina was. We were talking before the show, and she was saying, "Where's the text? Where's the text?" She goes, "I'm going to text him and say, kid, what are you doing?" She goes, "Maybe he forgot." I said, "Let me tell you something. John Perrotta never forgets," and that's the thing too that a lot of people throughout the 30 years, John, of coming to your shows, they know you as one of the funniest comedians to walk the face of the earth. But what they don't, what do you look at him, look at him. Push his head down.
I did all right, but I'm not one of the funniest to walk the face of the earth.
Well,
Yes, you are.
in my opinion, you are.
And mine too.
I appreciate it. I worked hard at it, but I'm in the middle of the pack somewhere. That's how I look at it.
No,
yeah,
are you
you're
kidding
at the
me?
top.
You
Believe
kidding me? What people don't know, because they only see John Perrotta on stage 45 minutes an hour, they don't know the work that you put into it. It's incredible behind the scenes. And most people, boys and girls at home that are listening, if other people had a production company as large as the Comedy Factory is, they have a staff. John has nobody. It's just him. Just him. So when Karina was saying maybe he forgot, I'm like, not John Perrotta, that's for sure.
I just sat on my desk and you texted me. I was going to text you. And then I was going to text Karin. I want to say Karina. He's got me all. You're crazy with the names, Mike. It's Karin.
Because when I met Karin, she did not look like a Karen. She looked like a Karina.
I don't think you ever called me that, Karin.
I've never called her Karin. I've always called her Karina, and especially the way she spells her name, Karin. And she looks like a Karina. I'm telling you.
Looks like a Karen to me.
The whole look that Karina had back then was, it just spelled and screamed Karina. She had the big long hair, she had the headbands, the glasses, just so funny, quick on her feet, shy, forget it. She can't even spell the word shy. This kid's coming at you. The quarterback's going down. She's got personality plus. Just like what she's laughing here. She's so much fun.
I think she could do comedy. I think you could do
comedy.
No
way.
You got to tell us where you saw us through the years. Like I find that kind of mind blowing. Like you saw us from Periwinkles way back.
Yeah, Periwinkles, Julio's. I went to Julio's upstairs.
You saw both Mike and I when we got started at Periwinkles. You saw us perform there.
Yeah, I went into Periwinkles. I saw you guys there.
Wow.
When Mike did that, yeah, was that your first show there, Mike? No.
When I opened up for Frank Santos, I had my my sea legs under me by then. I used to beg Charlie Hall to give me a dinner show, and he used to always say, "Michael, I think you're funny, but you're not clever and clean." So Charlie, in mentoring us coming up, was big on being clean, and as you know, my act was not. That was not a road that I wanted to take. So I had unique access to Charlie Hall because he worked out where you did in North Providence. So I would see Charlie 3 times a week, 2 times a week, and we got tight. I talked to him all the time, and I used to, I was on him like a surfboard. I was relentless. Give me a dinner show. 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 And he would say to me that same thing, "Michael, I think you're funny, but you're not clever and clean." And I would say to him, "Charlie, I go to these dinner shows. I see these headliners coming in. They are not clever and clean. They're dirty." And he would go like this, "You're not a national headliner." So, he would do that over and over. And then I was down at the India Point Water Festival. They used to have that every fall. And he had his stable of clean comedians outside with a stage set up. And we were talking, and he said to me, "Boy, it's a shame that you just won't switch it up and work clever and clean, because you'd be so good at an event like this." And I said, "Charlie, you tell me I'm funny, but I'm not clever and clean, but I'm getting a ton of work everywhere else. Why can't I do a dinner show?" And he went just like this. He snapped his fingers and he pointed at me. He said, "Frank Santos, they are your people." So that's the show that you went to. So I get there that night. I meet Frank. I'd never met Frank before. Always knew who he was. He gave me the rules. When you're on 15, very tight, You're going to get the light, look up in the back. It'll be the manager. Look for the sign. If you see this, hurry up and wrap it up. If you see this, stop immediately and bring me up. If you see this, stretch your set. So, as you know, I was having a great set that night, and I'm rolling, and I had my Iron Man chrono time on. I looked down. I'm right around that 14-minute mark, so I'm getting ready to wrap. I see the light. I look, and it's Frank, not whoever Charlie had managing Periwinkles. It was Frank, and Frank's going like this, putting his arms far, far out like that. And he let me do 23 minutes. And that was the show that you went to. The shows that you went to Julio's. You saw some great shows at Julio's.
Yeah.
My question, Karina, is this. Throughout the many years that you've been going to shows, has John ever talked to you on stage and teased you at all?
Yes.
Oh!
Did? You and your husband, did I bust you guys up?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Dave, no, but one time I was at West Warwick Country Club. You did a show there. I can't remember who you were with, but I want to say he was a fireman or
Billy Simus.
Bill Simus.
yes.
Funny for Funds. Was it a Funny for Fun
I don't
show?
know. Does he do the CPR classes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Bill
Yeah.
Simus.
Okay. So it was him. So I was with my girlfriend Rhonda. She owns a daycare preschool, and
Oh, yeah.
she invited me out that night to
Ask her if she can watch me on Wednesdays. I got the rest of the week covered, but Wednesday I'm having trouble getting somebody to watch me.
As long as you pay,
I'll pay and I'll sit in a corner and I'll suck my thumb and I'll be fine. I promise.
So we went there, and we were sitting there, and you were doing your act, and you came to our table, and you said, "Look at this group. I can just guess what you guys do." And you looked at me and you said, look at you. What do you do for a living? And I said, I don't want to tell you. And you said, why not? What are you, a nail tech from North Providence?
You were?
And I said, yes.
I guessed it.
I owned a nail salon.
I don't know how I did it. I used to guess, and sometimes I'd be right a lot of times.
It was fun. Well, it was probably the hair,
Yeah.
The big hair. But yeah, so I think that was it. And maybe another time. One time you said I looked like Monica Lewinsky.
Oh, jeez.
I don't remember. I think that was at Richard Boehm's.
And you went to Richard Boehm, used to put on a show every year for Special Olympics.
Every year. Yep, we went.
Guy raised tons and tons of money. And
really
I think I did it for him about 10 years. He's taking a break now. Hopefully someday he'll do it again. But
I know.
Rich was, he sent me a text at Christmas wishing me a Merry Christmas. Great guy. But, so you went to all those shows for the Special Olympics?
Yep.
Wow, there were some great shows. I used to bring in all headlines, big good headlines.
Yeah, we were just talking about. I was telling Mike all about it.
We had it at the West Valley Inn for a while there, and the food was phenomenal. Yeah, it's Crown Plaza. They used to have a nice meal, and the show was really nice, Mike. Sorry, I never asked you to be there, Mike. They wanted big headliners, so me and
I know, huh?
me and you weren't. I was just the host. I had to bring in. He wanted 3 different headliners, Rich, every year. He drove me crazy. I love Rich Boehm.
He said you're not clever and clean. That's why.
That's right. That's right. Clever and clean.
Every year I had to get 3 different headliners, Mike.
Yep.
Like 5 years later, I couldn't bring back somebody. I had to get 3 different ones every year. I mean,
wow.
And I did it. I had a couple come back. Chris Tabb, I think, came back. But for the most part, I had Kenny Rogerson from Boston. I had Chris Tabb, Mike Hanley. I had tons of guys. Oh, really, some good acts.
That was always a fun night.
Yeah, we used to bring in some great acts. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And you guessed that Karina owned a nail tech salon.
He knew.
It was right down the street from my house, right on Middle Spring Avenue.
Yeah.
And that was your nail salon?
Yep.
Wow. What was the name? What was the name of it? Was it Karen's Nail Salon or Karina's Nail Salon?
It was Gossip Nail Studio.
Gossip Nail Studio?
Yeah. It was my sister-in-law and I. Yeah.
That's the kind of place I'd want to hang around with, just sit in the corner.
I'm telling
Gossip
you, man. I'm
Nail
telling
Salon.
you.
That's big. That's big.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was fun. Yep.
So what do you do now? What do you do now, Karin?
So now I work for the town of Johnston. I'm a child outreach screener. So I go to all the preschools and I screen the little kids to see if there's any, developmental issues or
Can
their
you screen me Friday?
Sure.
I'll have your friend watch me Wednesday, and then you come in and screen me Friday.
I love it.
Because I definitely had some issues.
You screen me Friday.
I got some issues, man.
And he says it with a straight look. Can you screen me Friday?
I'm serious, Mike. I'm serious.
But I've been laid off since COVID. So I've been laid off since last March.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Yeah. So that's why I've been doing my little business.
Yeah, I saw that. I liked it on Facebook. What exactly?
Yeah. Well, I
you do
have
all
a couple
different things. What do you do?
things going on. So I have my Million Little Things, which is just kind of crafts and, wreaths, and I do body scrubs, bracelets. I do a lot of things.
All right, the body scrubs, Saturday. Mike, you want to go get a body scrub?
Want a body scrub on Saturday?
Saturday. Don't tell David, though, your husband. He might get mad.
So
You don't want to tell him, Dave, I'm
tell Big
going to be
Daddy.
doing a body scrub with Mike Cronin and John Perrotta.
So Karina, you have made John's entire year. So Wednesday, your friend's going to babysit him.
Yep.
Friday, you're going to
Friday, I'm
screen him.
screening him.
Saturday, he's coming in for a body scrub.
What is a, I don't really like stupid, but I know that's for girls. What is a body scrub? What do you,
No,
I
do
knew
they
that
get
was
naked?
coming.
Do they get total? What do they get in a bikini? You
I
just
don't do it to them. I sell it to you.
Oh, you sell it. I was going to say, I thought you got a brush and a bucket of soap and you just try to wash them. I was going to say, they too lazy to take a shower before they left the house?
I should do that.
That
I
might
don't
be
do
more money. That would be more
I
money,
thought
Karen.
I had one here, but I don't. No, they're
Oh,
just
man.
body scrubs that you can wash your hands, your lips.
John thinks you got to set up like airport car wash attached to your house.
I thought you had a bucket with soap. Scrub them down. Next.
I'll
No.
tell you, Karina, I'll tell you, man, I would pay good money Saturday to see John Zampala pull up to your house and have him get out in one of those real nice white hotel robes they give you with the slippers. That would be hilarious.
Big Daddy will answer the door and say, "What are you doing?"
I don't think her husband Dave would understand.
Oh man. That would be so funny.
So you sell body scrubs.
I
So they
sell-
do they buy it and then do it themselves. Okay, I got
Yeah.
that now. I'm
got it?
ignorant with this stuff. What else are you
All right.
selling? What else are you selling?
I make custom cups and T-shirts. I started doing bracelets, and I donated the money. I don't know if you can see it behind me, but I donated the money to disabled American vets of Rhode Island
Oh, great.
in honor of
great.
my dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic.
So that's what when I sell the bracelets, the money goes to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've always thought of a comedy factory, if we ever get going again with the shows, of getting T-shirts made with kind of like some kind of logo, comedy
Yeah.
factory on it. So maybe down the road it'll be something we could talk about.
Definitely.
Yeah,
What do you
'cause
think, Mike?
You know,
Yeah.
I think maybe you should brighten John's evening.
well,
All right.
a lot of comedians sell them at shows. They sell T-shirts or DVDs,
All right. Well, I have a
CDs.
surprise for you.
You got a surprise for me.
Yeah.
Let me guess, a body scrub?
No, but that's coming. Don't worry. Look.
John Perrotta's Comedy Factory. Wow, is that cool? That's wicked
like
cool.
that?
Yeah, I like it. I might, never mind the T-shirts. I might just order them and sell them. That's cool.
Right? That's for you.
So now I can, if I wanted to order like so many of them to try out and see if they sell, I could order 20 of them or whatever I could order.
Definitely.
So
Well,
what we're gonna
talk.
do
We'll have
tonight,
to talk. That's great.
What
Karen.
we're
I
gonna
really
do
like that.
tonight-
Definitely.
what we're gonna do tonight, John, is Karina was so excited to be on the show
It's
tonight.
really sharp.
She made another one that we're gonna give away.
I like
So
it. It's
those
nice.
of you watching at home, comment on the show And then
Like,
we
look.
are going to take all the names of everyone
Like
that
the Price is Right.
comments.
What is it
We're
called?
going to put them in a hat, pull them out, and you're going to win this John Perrotta's Comedy Factory.
Now you
Coffee mug.
design that, Karen?
Yep.
That's phenomenal. I mean, the
Thank
mug
you.
and that, I really like it. I really like it. It's
So
sharp.
this is a reusable coffee cup, Mike. So we'll give that one away.
We'll give that one away, the reusable coffee
Yep.
cup,
Wow.
and John is getting the coffee mug.
And you make those yourself.
Yeah.
Wow, you're talented. That's great.
Thanks.
I think they would sell good at a show. What do you think,
Yeah.
Mike?
They would sell huge at a show.
I think so.
Yeah. This could be-
Karina is right now making for Pastor Mike. I'm doing his book signing
sell
event
it?
February 12th. Myself and Rhonda Corey are going to be doing the comedy. And Karina is making 70 masks that we're going to be handing out that night.
And you make the mask too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have the prototype. You have the prototype there?
I
You
mean,
do
it's not
di-
done yet, but I'll show you.
Different designs and everything?
Well, this is a book, so it's a book signing.
Yeah.
It says you can explain the book, Mike, because
Pastor Mike's newest book is called The Ox and the Ass. It talks about being in toxic relationships. Now, John, don't say have me mail. So here's what John's going to say. Here's what John's going to say. I'm going to get babysat by Karina's friend on Wednesday. Friday, she's going to screen me. Saturday, I'm going in for a body scrub. And then
And Saturday night, she'll hook me up into a toxic relationship.
I was going to say Sunday, you would read Pastor Mike's book.
I'll be all
you'll
clean.
read that after.
Saturday, I'll be scrubbed, Mike. I want to go when I'm clean. I don't want to go to the next day when I'm dirty. If I'm going to get scrubbed down by her and David, I want to get scrubbed down and then that night be nice and clean for the toxic relationship.
So in John's mind, John's thinking that he's going to like walk into your garage. He's going to hold his arms out like this, and you and Dave are going to have power washers on both sides.
I'm a big guy there.
Hose him down.
You're going to have to hose me down. I don't know about a scrub. You might have to just hose me down.
Oh man alive. That is good stuff.
That's
That
funny.
is good stuff.
See, I feel like usually with the comedians, we'll joke around, but Karen is like an audience member. So when she sets us up for the jokes, we got to move in for the kill Mike. I feel like I'm at a show.
I feel like you're at a show,
I feel like
right?
I'm at a
Exactly.
show. And I
There you
really
go,
love,
man.
I really love the mug and the coffee. That's awesome, really. You
Good.
surprised me. You surprised me. And I
Good.
absolutely love it. And I think it'll sell at shows. I always thought T-shirts, but coffee mugs are more, something that people use more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
Definitely.
a coffee mug would definitely sell
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
So we got big potential here, Karen.
Big potential.
Yes, big
You hear that,
potential.
Mike? I got potential, Mike.
I'm telling you. What I tell you, kid.
But
What
what
I
is
tell
it?
you.
We'll have to talk and we'll talk business, and so I'll
All
know
right.
what I'm getting into, and we'll go from there. Mike, did you blow dry your hair before you
He
came out
gave
to the
him-
show tonight?
I went right through hair and makeup today.
Yeah.
I
Now, who did your hair and makeup? Stevie Wonder.
Exactly. I
You
stopped
look
by.
great, Mike. Mike looks great.
You look good.
I did.
looks
I
great.
do all the buzzer work myself. And then what I do is I take a little bit of gel and I run my fingers through it. It actually comes up to about this high, and then I spray it. And then I walk around, do what I got to do. And then when it gets like hard, I go into the bathroom again, and I take my hands and I rub it through it like that. And then I pull it up a little bit more. I look at it. I say, I like that. And then I lacquer it down with the hairspray, and I come back on. That's why I call it going through the hair and makeup.
There you go.
Let me just show you one thing. Now, I've been struggling. I'm on a diet. I do good a few days. I have a couple of rough days. Every once in a while, Mike will send me, if you can see it, it's a picture of veal
Oh.
palm and pasta from
Oh.
Twins,
I
Mike.
heard.
Twins tonight.
Twins
Yeah.
Pizza. He sends
I
me
heard.
pictures of food, and it just he drives
You're
me
not
nuts.
helping, Mike.
Yeah, he's not
Well,
helping me.
I sent that for a reason because I was thinking myself too. I'm 62 years old now. Grampy Mike is not a young boy anymore, even though in my heart I'm still 12. So I Googled nutritional value of veal, and I was like, wow, look at all this is good stuff. I'm gonna get the veal. So I ordered it up, and when it came, I looked at it. I said, you know what? I know John's working on his diet, but veal's good for us. I'm going to send him a picture of that.
Mike, I got to tell you one thing, Karen. I got to tell you one thing. I'm 62 years old. I've eaten a lot of good and bad stuff in my life. Never once did I Google if it was good for me or not. I just ate it and sat there, and maybe somebody said you shouldn't have ate that. Then I know, because I don't want to know what I'm eating. I just eat it. It looks good. I eat it, and that's it.
Oh man!
So you sent him a picture. You'd think you would have sent him a meal.
Yeah, he should send me a meal.
You know, I would. I know his address. I would do that. I would send that to him. But I thought about it. I said, you know, this is good. This is good. So see, that's the difference between me and John. I Google it. So you know, when John goes to Twin Oaks, he's not telling Tim Brooks, hold on a second, Tim. I gotta Google this chicken masala. Okay, it's a go.
The only thing I Google is menus from restaurants.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
If it's on the menu, it must be good.
And I got to tell you, tonight's cut of veal was probably the best one I've ever had. It was so good. And then I ordered the side of meatballs, 2 meatball palm and mushrooms.
So are you a good cook, Karen? Are you a good cook?
I'm a good cook.
Little
love
Portuguese, little Italian.
Mostly Italian, but I cook everything.
Cook everything.
I love to cook. I love to bake.
Wow.
Yep. I love it.
You can't come out of Karina's family and not know how to cook. She made something over Christmas, some chocolate thing drizzled with peanut butter. When I looked at it, I just wanted to ride to a house and buy it right away. I mean, the thing looks so delicious, so scrumptious. This girl can throw down some food. David and her children are blessed that they have mama in the kitchen cooking.
That's right.
How old are your kids, Karen?
So Nick is 15 and David is 13.
Cool.
Yep.
That's good. How long have you been married to David?
It'll be 20 years in July.
20 years. Now, I'm a marriage connoisseur. I've been married 3 times. Now, when you hit the 20-year mark, if everything's good, beautiful. If everything's not good, when you hit that 20-year mark, get the pension, scram. I tell them in my act, that's what I tell them. If I ask a guy, how many years have you been married? 20 years. If you don't like it, that's the time to go. $2,000 a month at Blue Cross for life, Mike. I'm gonna beat that.
Karina, I'm doing. You may not know this. I manage John's YouTube channel, so that we've got a lot of videos up there that we've done. We've really worked hard to build that channel up. So I watch them. I love this man. He's one of my best friends in the whole world. I love him so dearly, and I watch him. And I was watching one that he did. He was at Spiritos, but it was being called a different name, Kelly Garazzo or Gazzaro.
Spiritos restaurant at the Kelly Gazzaro course, which unfortunately is closed, but big loss for the company.
Place is packed. It's got like 300 people there. You can just feel
200.
Well, it felt like 400. You could hear the buzz coming through my speakers. So he's working the room, and I never heard him say this before. So he comes this one table and just very casual, just like he was with you tonight. Straight face, very deliberate. He asked the guy and woman how long they've been married. They told him like 9 years. He tells the guy, buddy, do the 20, grab the pension and get out. The whole place just erupted in laughter. I'm over here in this chair holding on for dear life. I'm laughing so hard I'm about to pass out because I don't hear these things firsthand. The other thing I love about John too is I love the reaction that he gives to the audience's answers when they throw him off. It is a beautiful thing because he looks at
gets a kick out of this.
Buddy, are you serious, brother? Another time, He was working the room. I forget if it was the Comedy Connection. He was at some, we had big place packed. And he asked the guy what he does for a living. The guy tells him he's a martial artist. So John, and I've never heard him say this before, John comes back and tells the guy, brother, the only thing I know about martial arts is whipping a scooter pie at some guy's head. I was seeing stars. I was laughing so hard.
I wish you were everybody in the audience, Mike, because not everybody laughs like you.
Oh man, I'll tell you, I am a comedian's best friend. I really am. I've been doing stand-up for over 30 years. I love to laugh. I appreciate it. And it's so much fun to laugh. The other one that I love too is he's at the Comedy Connection. So boys and girls, if you're watching at home and you're not of age, go in your bedroom and play with your Legos. John's talking to this guy, and the guy said something to John, and John said, well, do you ever imagine when you come to a show, you got a 300-pound guy fall down on you? And John goes, I don't mean down on you. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. How does he think of this stuff? And the other thing I love about John too is he'll work the room. So let's say he grabs your name. He knows your name is Karina early in. So about, Karin. So about 40 minutes later, he'll come back. He'll say, Karin, you know what I'm talking about, right? He remembers all these people's names. It's beautiful to watch.
Yeah, one thing I can remember 5 people, and I remember all that. I'd go right back through and remember everybody's name, what they did. You worked at the nail salon. This one, I got a good memory with that stuff. I don't know how. Yeah, but I'm like you, Mike. I'm like Mike. I love the comedy business because I've been laughing at these shows, enjoying myself, all these years. I love it. Like Karin and her husband, they like to go. I like laughing. I like having a good time. So when I go to these shows, I really enjoy myself. It's not like work to me. You know what I mean? I mean, behind the scenes, setting up the show, having to do the advertising, the booking, and all that stuff. Yeah, that's all kind of headache sometimes. But when you actually get to the show, that's when it's fun. And I laugh. I laugh just about every time, really.
So, Karin, I have a question for you. Being a mom, a wife, a business owner, you have a fantastic job working with our youth. What has this pandemic done to you as a homemaker in terms of not being able to get out, go to shows and whatnot? What are your thoughts on that? And the other thing that I want to ask you too is when we come back, and we will come back, as Dr. Fauci said and Dr. Sanjay Gupta said, we could be back to, life as we remember it by spring. Mm-hmm. Do you and David start coming to the first shows?
It won't be spring. It won't be spring.
Well, hopefully. You never know. It might be. And we would stop.
I think it'll be
if it was safe, we would do it.
I think it'll be the fall, but we'll see.
Yeah? No, but we would.
I mean unless they can really ramp up these vaccines, I think it's going to be a while.
Well, I mean, as long as it was safe, I know we would go, Yeah. I mean, and as far as just being home, I mean, it's been tough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, my husband still works from home. He's
really?
not going back till after June, they're saying.
Yeah,
he works for the government.
Wow.
And he's still home. So, and my kids are home. I mean, their schools are open, but we chose to keep them home for now, especially through the holiday.
Everybody stay safe.
So it's been crazy. I mean, we're all home, but I don't mind it. I kind of love it,
I never thought I'd get used to it, but I've kind of adjusted. The first couple of months was rough, but I've kind of adjusted. This is the way life's going to be. You either adjust to it, or you're in a lot of trouble. You got to adjust. Whatever life throws at you, you gotta rebound. It might hit you down, and you pick yourself up and you adjust. I mean that's what I've done.
I like everybody home. I don't mind it.
Karina, John, and boys and girls at home, I'm telling you right now, when her sons get married, Karina is going to be the type of Italian mom. She's going to be like this. I can't believe you're leaving your mother. I can't believe you're leaving me. That's why you love him being home.
Did you ever say her full name to give her the proper introduction?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
All right. I don't recall
Yeah.
that. All right. My mind's a little.
That's all right.
Her full Christian name is Karin Porcelli Sabetta. And I have always called her Karina since day one.
Day one.
There's
No
something,
one
Mike.
else.
Hey, you'd never guess my middle name. When I grew up, my middle name began with an M. I always told people it was Michael. Because I don't really care now, but when I was young, I was embarrassed that my middle name was my grandfather's first name. And
I want to guess. Can we both take a guess?
yeah, take a
Yeah.
guess.
All right, Karina, you go first.
I want to say it's Manfredo.
I'm going to go with Maurice.
No,
Oh.
it was a city in California, but it's an Italian name, Modesto. So they used to call him, when he used to go to the Italian American club, they call him Modestino. His first name was Modesto. So my father was John Modesto Perrotta Sr., and I was John Modesto Perrotta Jr. I never ever told anybody my middle name, but since I was a kid, it's Modesto. It's very different.
That's a great middle name.
I know.
It's different. It's different.
That's why. It's great.
Yeah.
What's your middle name, Michael?
Eugene.
Eugene.
Oh.
Eugene.
See that?
Eugene.
So I'm going to start calling you Gene, the dancing machine.
Gene, the dancing machine. My mother's father was Eugene Xavier Murphy.
Wow.
Wow.
Is that Italian?
No, you kidding me? You kidding me? If my family, look at me. If my family were any more Irish, we'd be on the cover of the Lucky Charms cereal box. My family comes right from Cork, Ireland. My grandfather and my dad used to always tell this story. My great-grandfather came from Cork, Ireland. He was a behemoth. He had a 52-inch waist. My dad said he had hands like a catcher's mitt. And when he would put the cards down playing on Van Buren Street, the whole table would shake. So way back in the day when my grandfather was a little kid, they didn't even call them cops. They called them constables. So my grandfather and his dad are down at Rocky Point. Sign says no swimming. But he's swimming. So the cop comes by, and he's giving my grandfather, who was probably like 12 at the time, a little bit of a hard time. Who's out there? Who's in the water? How come? That's my dad. Well, you can't be swimming here. Can't you read the sign the whole bit? You got to get him in here. So he's being very demanding on my grandfather. He's only a kid. My grandfather's actually getting kind of frightened. So he's yelling, Dad, you're going to come in. So my grandfather tells a story. His father, my great-grandfather, was so big that as he was approaching shore, he's leaving a wake behind him. And when he comes up out of the water, he's so ginormous. He asked the cop with his thick Irish accent, his brogue, what seems to be the problem. And the cop said back to him, nothing, sir. I just wanted to make sure your son wasn't alone. That's how big he was. He was just gigantic. My dad would tell me that he never drove here in the United States. He got a job. He'd walk to work. And back then, the bars were open very early because the third shift people would come through. He'd go in, he'd have a couple of shots of whiskey, get a bowl of beef stew, and make his way on to work.
Wow.
So my family is very, 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 very Irish. Very Irish.
My mother was Irish. I got Irish. Some Irish.
We are a passionate people, the Irish.
And we like to drink. That's the problem.
My grandmother, my granny that lived with us. Now, my grandfather, my Eugene Xavier, he was an artist. He taught around school design. He was extremely talented. He did all kind of he painted all of the show posters for the Lowe's Theater in Strands. He made all kind of artwork for my mom. This is Grumpy from the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. We figure this is probably over 100 years old. My mom
he drew that?
He drew that, yeah. Yep.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yep. My mom went home to Jesus.
Put those on the cups, Karen, too.
There you go, right, exactly. I tell you, that'd be awesome. And he was a very skilled artist, and he liked to drink. He'd like to have a few. So I'll tell this one story. If my sister's listening, she'll be good with it. My dad's dating my mom. Saturday night dating her. It's very big back then in those days. So he goes over there. He's dressed up. He's got his suit on. Goes to pick her up. Do you mind going down to the First and Last Chance, pick up my dad? Not a problem, Barbara. Not a problem. So drives down the First Last Chance, gets in there. There's my grandfather. Now, everyone called my dad Hap, short for happy. Hap! Calls the bartender, set us up. So they have a couple. Set us up. So now the conversation's starting to flow. Phone rings. Gene! It's Grace. That's my grandmother. My grandfather. My dad. Gene, what are you doing? That's Grace. You got to talk to her. Hap. They know that we know that was them. We're fine. So this went out a few times. They end up closing the First and Last Chance. So now they get in the car. They drive home. They get into my mother's house. They're furious. What does my grandfather say to my dad? Hap, come out in the kitchen for a nightcap. So when I was growing up, back then when I did, tip a few brewskis, my grandmother would wait up for me. And she would say to me, you're just like your grandfather. You spend too much time in the bars.
Wow.
He passed away when I was 6 months old, but from what I understand, he was a great guy. My dad and mom both told me when he passed away, anyone who's familiar with the First and Last Chance, all upstairs were apartments. And back then, the Bruins weren't really that big of a name as much as the Providence Reds were gigantic. They were huge at the arena on North Main Street. And most of them lived upstairs at the First and Last Chance.
Oh, wow.
Whole team came to my grandfather's wake.
Wow.
Whole team came to the
Providence Reds?
The Providence Reds, yep.
Wow, that's something, huh?
Yep, big. You know what? When I ride by 111 North Main Street, it's sad to look and see that that's a parking lot now. Because that was such an iconic. I can remember going there when I was a kid to see like the Ice Capades.
Didn't the Rolling Stones play there?
So many big bands came and played there. Yeah, it was quite. The Reds used to fill it. It only sat like 3,000 people, and I can remember, and you can Google it online, when they knocked it down. I think they probably knocked it down, John, when we were like rolling in stand-up comedy or just before that. But there's a picture online where the bulldozers and wrecking balls took the whole front of the building off, so you can see in, you can see the stadium seating go up into the rise. It's sad to see a place like that was so historic, and it's a parking lot. I mean, I would like to think that Cianci would have fought to keep that. Rocky Marciano fought a ton of fights there. Jimi Hendrix played there. Wow. It was just an iconic place.
Wow.
I don't know if I went by it when I was young, but I don't think I ever went. Don't recall going to a game, the Reds game or anything. I don't recall. But I was at the Gossip Nail Salon back in
That's right, the Gossip Nail 90s. Salon.
I did go there once.
Back in the 90s?
John's coming in for the full treatment. I'm telling you, you're going to see the body scrub. The Impala's going to pull up. He's going to roll out with the white robe like he got at the Biltmore, all nice. Slippers on. He's going to have his newspaper in his hand because John's old school. He's going to have his newspaper in his hand.
You got to tell your husband. I was telling John about the body scrub, and he said, I want to book it. He thought he was coming in to get scrubbed.
And you got to be ready because
that's how much I know about what's going on.
The other hand, he's going to be carrying. He's going to be carrying Winston, his granddog. Yeah. He'll be bringing Winston with him.
How cute is he?
I was with him today. He's got this thing. Now, I'm an Italian guy. I got a little bit of a stomach. Winston, when he sees me, comes up. He bites my stomach. You know what that's like when you got a puppy that's 5 months old, bite your stomach. Then he calms down after a while. He's all right. But when I first go, I sit there and he bites my stomach. I've never had anybody bite my stomach. Well, maybe once in 78, but it doesn't usually happen, Mike. They don't usually bite my stomach.
You gotta Caesar Milan this dog, John. You know Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer?
Yeah.
Watch some of his shows on YouTube. You'll have Winston eating out of your hand.
My daughter, they're training him. They got him in training now. And but with me, he does pretty good, but we have our moments. He's a lot of fun though. I love
He's
being around,
beautiful, beautiful.
being around a puppy for, I go over there once a week. They work from home. And I hang with him for 3 or 4 hours. And
Maybe you should get a puppy.
I thought about it, but I see him like once, twice a week, and
Yeah.
I say it's a lot of work.
I
It's
know.
a lot of work. Do you have a puppy, Karen?
I have a dog. Yeah, he's little. He's a
He's little.
Morkie. He's tiny. Yeah.
Not as
But
much
he's
work.
like he's a baby. He doesn't go to the bathroom outside. He has his little pads.
Oh,
He's like a cat. He just sleeps all day.
are you serious?
Yes. He never
That is
needs to
me.
go out. He hates
What?
going outside.
What's
What is
his
he-
name?
His name's Chippy.
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 He's
What's his favorite dish? Kale soup?
He loves eggs. He likes eggs.
Are
Scrambled
you
eggs.
serious?
Scrambled eggs every morning with him and Big Daddy get scrambled eggs every day.
No,
Wow.
so him and Big Daddy are eating scrambled eggs every morning, and Chippy refuses to go outside to relieve himself.
He does not go outside. He goes right to his pad.
That is too funny.
Yeah. He's so
That is
good.
too funny.
He's a good dog.
So he drops his Tootsie Rolls also on the pad?
Yes.
Wow. Can you imagine that, John?
He never needs to go out, and he doesn't want to.
Less headaches. A small dog, not as much of a problem. When you got a bigger dog, it's a headache.
No.
Yeah,
I know.
that would be. You know, the pad, I'm making fun of it, but my sister has a pad for Ruby. And my sister walks Ruby like 3 times a day. But Ruby knows that, if we're not going out right now, or if I don't want to go out right now, he uses the pad. He'll drop his Tootsie Rolls on there, and he'll spill his lemonade on it. See, that's how you got to say it. You got to say it cute for the kids. They might be watching.
That's true. That's
What
true.
else can we cover tonight, Mike? Because we're almost at that time.
I'm telling you, I'm having so much fun. I don't even want to rap. I mean, we're just.
Karen, Mike never wants to.
He
If it
doesn't
was
wanna
up to
end.
him, every show would be 4 hours. He doesn't
That's-
understand.
he
You do like
He likes
45
your
minutes.
company.
Yeah,
He likes
45 minutes an hour. Then people will watch it. They get into it. If you go 2 hours, they're gonna be gone. They're not gonna watch. You can only get them for so long, Mike.
Yeah. Karina, have you ever heard this story? We've told it before on the Zoom show. If you've had, I won't say it. In managing John's YouTube channels, he brings me a lot of video. So he has all this video, all the video you see from the early days back in 1991. I put all that together. So I said, sure, Johnny, bring it over. We'll put it together. We'll have fun. So he comes over with all this stuff. So what John doesn't realize is it's a lot of work to edit, cut out. I mean, a couple of F-bombs that he didn't want. Oh, can you take that out, bad boy? He still calls me bad boy to this day. He hardly ever calls me Mike. It's always bad boy. So, you're asking me to take an F-bomb out. That's like laser surgery. So he's sitting right here. He's sitting right here, right next to me. He was here for a little over 6 hours, probably 6 hours and 5 minutes he was here. At one point,
A long day.
he's got his mask on the whole time. And here's what you don't realize about John. He has beautiful blue eyes. When you
It's
look
crazy.
when you look at his eyes over the blue mask, I mean, you just fall in love. So now he looks at me, Karina, and here's what he says. He goes, "Bad boy, I'm fading fast." So now I gotta think of, I got a lot of work to do. What am I gonna do? He's fading fast on me. And I could see it in his eyes too. He was getting tired. So I said, Johnny, check this out. So I pull up a video of me at 61 years old performing at Theater 82 with Laughter and Hope, my ministry. Now, John had told me Bad boy, I looked all through my stuff. I can't find any video on you. I got old promo pictures from ads we ran. I found some audio. I can't find the video. So now I say, Johnny, check this out. So I stop playing it. He's sitting right here. He looks at me. He's like, I had you. I looked through everything. I couldn't find you, bad boy. I had you. He's in amazement. So I said, John, look at me there. I'm 61 years old with white hair. This is not from 1992. He really was fading fast. So now I had another time. He's got more video. I said, yeah, absolutely, Johnny, come over. So what he does is John stops at Riccardi's. He treats me well. He brings me nice. We eat the lunch. We talk. We catch up. And I had told my friend Angel, when your caseworker calls, make sure you get me on the phone so I can talk to her. So Angel says yes. Now, Angel, I love Angel dearly. Angel's 47 years old. He's one of the biggest blessings of my life. He has Asperger's. He's such a blessing and such a good guy. So she calls me. So now when she calls me, I answer. Now, this is John's cue. Johnny P knows this is my cue to run for the border. I no sooner say hello, he shoots right up. And he goes, bad boy, I'll talk to you later. And he goes right out my slider. I hear the Impala squealing the tires going up Ivan Street.
It's a lot of work over there, Mike. When I come to your house, it's a work and lunch.
It was so much fun, though.
And the thing about the blue eyes, you see, because I always been self-conscious being Italian, I get the stomach. So you don't want the girls to look at the stomach. So I would keep them focused on my blue eyes. They don't look at the stomach. They look, he's got nice blue eyes. They don't look at this fat guy. They look at the eyes. That's the key, Karen. Look at the eyes.
Oh, man.
You could be 500 pounds. If they're looking at your eyes, they don't know. They don't know, Mike.
John's got the whole thing down. That's why his son wrote the world famous bestseller. What is it? Something Casanova?
My son started traveling at 22. I thought he was crazy. He said, I'm going to travel all over the world. The first place he went was Vietnam for 6 months. I was having a stroke. Goes out there. I'm thinking back when I was in the Navy, Vietnam's bad. It changed. It's really nice now. So he goes out there. He goes Spain, Colombia, Mexico City. He wrote a book and did all right. Then he writes a book, Conversation Casanova, about how to meet women in your 20s, guys in their 20s. He writes this book, and I forget the percentage he told me of how many books become bestsellers. The book is sold like 50, 60,000 copies now.
Wow.
It's Conversation Casanova. It's like a bestseller. And it was #1 in Men's Health on Amazon.
Wow,
and
that's
now
great.
he's just finished his 4th book, and that's going to be coming out in a few months. He's going to get the cover done and editing and all that. But he's really he's into other things too. But he's a writer, and he does all kinds. My daughter's a CPA, so I've been blessed that my kids didn't turn out like me. You know what I mean? Because if they turned out like me, I would have been out of my mind, Mike. You know what I'm saying? Drinking, gambling, getting scrubbed down on Saturdays. It would have been a mess. It would have been a mess, an absolute mess.
Oh man!
Well, Mike, how do we wrap this up? We gotta wrap.
You know, I don't really want to wrap it up, but you know, this was a great show for me. This was one of the most fun shows that we've done. We've never had a fan on. We've never gotten the perspective of what this is like to go through a pandemic and not be able to go out and go and see your favorite comedians or go to see a band. You know, and Karina. I love this girl. I've known her for 32 years.
Karin.
She has a beautiful family. Like I said, I met her mom or her dad. Her dad went home to Jesus. He was an icon here in North Providence. Angelo the Tile Man. He was an icon. Alice, sweet person. Her brother Steve is just. He is like her brother Steven is like a bowl of sugar. He's just the nicest guy. I don't know Tommy all that well. When I met Tommy, he was kind of like I met him out in front of the house one day. It was either Tommy or maybe it was Kenny, but he was kind of like, you know, Paulie D on Jersey Shore. He was letting me know that he was who he was, the boss. But it was a great show. It was a lot of fun tonight to be on.
It was
Karin,
fun.
what do you have to add in our closing remarks? Your thoughts about comedy shows through the years, it coming back?
Oh, I love it. I can't wait for them to come back, and they will. They'll come back. We'll
Definitely.
get through it. Yeah.
People like you, Karin, that are your husband that come out and laugh and makes it all worthwhile for
Can't wait.
me and Mike. You know, we miss it. We miss it.
We can't wait.
Yeah, and then you guys miss it. So that's, you know,
Yeah.
we had a lot of laughs through the years.
Definitely.
Hopefully we'll have a few more before it's over, you know.
We will. We definitely will.
Karina, hold up that reusable coffee mug.
I want to thank you for
You're
doing that.
welcome. Of
Doing
course.
that and a coffee cup that's really sharp. Definitely gonna talk to you about that's awesome.
Definitely.
That's awesome. And
Are
I
you
want to
gonna
thank
give
you
this
for
away,
coming
Mike?
for coming to all the shows all through the years.
Oh my God, of course.
Yeah, we appreciate it, you and your
Thanks for
husband.
having me on.
Yeah, it's people like, you know, you that really made what we do, you know what I mean? Really.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, boys and girls,
do?
is we are going to raffle this off. Comment in the comment section that you watch the show, how many shows of John's you've gone through the years. Just make a comment, and then what we're going to do is next week we're going to take all those names, put them into a hat, pull one out, and you will win that John Perrotta's Comedy Factory reusable coffee mug, brought to you by A Million Little Things by Karin. Karin, thank you so much for making John the beautiful porcelain coffee mug.
I'll get that to you. I'll get it to you.
And the
this week.
reusable one. That was very nice of you. This was a fun show. You know, as always, I'm humbled and honored to be on it. It was a great show. I pray God's favor over both of your families.
Thank you.
Happy New Year,
You too.
Karin, and your
Thank
husband
you.
David, your children,
Thank
your
you.
mom,
You
your
too.
brothers. You got any sisters?
One sister. Yep.
One sister. Is she the one that's toxic?
Toxic.
Well, you said somebody was toxic. I thought maybe it was her. I mean, after I get scrubbed down, I thought maybe you're going to fix me up with her. I don't know.
That's
I'm
the
not
name.
married, but if it's toxic, I mean, that's what I do.
That's the name of the book Pastor Mike wrote. The
Yeah,
Ox and the Ass is about toxic relationships. Here's John. Is your
You
sister
should have
toxic?
featured me in the book.
I know, huh?
I'm an expert at toxic relationships.
Oh boy.
Thanks for coming on, Karin. Mike, I'll see you again. I love you, brother. I love you, Karin. We had a lot of laughs, a good time. Happy
so
New
much.
Year. Yeah, thank
Happy
you for
New
coming
Year.
on. You've
God
been
bless
awesome.
everyone.
We'll definitely have you back on again. You can promote your
Definitely.
products and we'll have some
Definitely.
fun.
Thank you.
All right, guys, girls.